So guys, this is the penultimate round of championship games, which only means one thing: more predicting. What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Sorry for the lack of videos, I've been working really hard on my university stuff. I promise you guys there'll be more content coming up soon, but I cannot miss this. The climax of the championship season is coming in the next couple of weeks. This is what the Lexus Hall of Fame Premier League division looks like. I'm still on top, but it's very close. I'm trying to think of a prize, and if I do get first place, by default, second place will get that prize. I'm trying to think of what it can be at the moment, and this is what the Championship Lexus Hall of Fame looks like. If you guys want to be involved in the Lexus Hall of Fame and want to boost up your points, make sure you go to the description down below so you can see all the games this weekend for what we're predicting. We're predicting Championship and Premier League games, and make sure you leave your predictions in the comments down below. If you guys like what you see, please make sure you do give this video a like, it's tremendously appreciated. If you haven't done, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel. We're antagonizingly close to 500 right now, so this will keep the channel alive, and I promise you I am not ready to quit yet. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and please share this channel as well. That's how I'm going to grow. But without any further ado, let's start predicting these weekend's games. So to start off this weekend, we've got pretty much the most must-win game I think I've ever seen in recent championship years. Sheffield Wednesday going up against Nottingham Forest. For a really big reason actually, Sheffield Wednesday could get relegated this weekend along with the two other teams in the relegation zone if results don't go their way. But if they lose in this game, then they can forget any sort of chance of catching Derby, and it wouldn't even matter for what Derby's result is. Sheffield Wednesday need at least a point, if not all 3 points really. Nottingham Forest of course won't have too much to play for. Their form has been not being too good really, and Sheffield Wednesday can use this as an opportunity. At home, I have felt that Sheffield Wednesday have been a bit better as well. And you feel like, is this going to be a game where Sheffield Wednesday once again don't take their chances and they leave themselves exposed by a lack of concentration? I think it could be a game with that. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. I think with the Sheffield Wednesday, they'll miss their chances. They'll get one goal out of it, but with a lapse of concentration, they'll concede a silly goal and it'll end 1-1. Fifa 21 is predicting a 2-0 victory to Sheffield Wednesday. Next up is Birmingham going up against Cardiff, and I'm intrigued to see the outcome of this game. Obviously, both of their styles don't really require a lot of the ball, and both these sides doing particularly well in their runs of form towards the tail end of the season. But you've got to praise especially Birmingham with the work that Lee Bowyer has put into that squad though. 5 wins in his first 8 managerial games is absolutely exceptional, with a running of Brentford, Swansea and Watford very close to that. To only lose one of those games is actually incredible for this team really. With Cardiff, they've been okay. They've dropped a couple of silly points here and there, although they did have a good win against Wycombe last week. With this game, I think it'll be tight, but I do think Birmingham being at home might just edge this. I'm going to say a 2-1 victory to Birmingham based on the performances I've seen from both these sides. FIFA 21 is predicting a 1-1 draw. Next up is Brentford versus Watford. Now, I think a lot of championship fans, with myself included, looked at this game a couple of weeks ago thinking that this was going to be the biggest game we were going to see all season. But unfortunately, it's not really turned out to be this way. You know, Watford have already secured their promotion. Brentford have already secured their top 6. I guess an extra motive for Brentford: if they win this game, they guarantee to finish 3rd place. So maybe that Brentford could play with a bit of impetus, knowing that that's on the line. But what I hope we see a good, fiery, intense match with good quality football, and not both teams playing in second gear and just playing out a draw, because as a neutral, I wouldn't be a fan of it. And obviously, we know the qualities that both these squads have. Both teams have got some of their players submitted in EFL's official team for season. I'm going to say it's going to be a 1-1 draw. I think both these sides will cancel each other out. I think this game will form in the pattern of a game of 2 halves, with one side doing better and then the other side doing better in the second half. I'll even it out to 1-1. FIFA 20 is predicting a 3-1 Brentford win. Next up, we've got Huddersfield going up against Coventry. Now, Huddersfield are technically not mathematically safe yet, but anything else than a defeat, then Huddersfield will be mathematically safe. Coventry have got to give themselves huge credit for the fact they've already made themselves mathematically safe. And I think Mark Robins has just thrown under the radar a little bit in terms of an underrated manager who's done a hell of a job for a team, especially with the budget that Coventry have been working with and the squad they've gone up with. I think they've done tremendously well to get to the position that they are. They maintained the pressure with their poor run of form, but then they defied the odds and actually got a really improved run of form, which, to be more specific, 4 wins in 5 games. And that is what has saved Coventry's season. I think with this game, I think we'll have an end to the season 5. I think we could see flying goals. You know what? I'm going to say a 2-2 draw. I'm hoping that we're going to see a load of goals in this game. FIFA 21 is predicting a 1-0 away victory to Coventry. Next up, we've got Luton going up against Middlesbrough. Once again, both these sides not really with too much to play for, really. And this could be another similar game with an end of the season vibe. Luton will remember this game last year as their championship debut as well for over a 15-year absence. And I think Luton, especially with the work that Nathan Jones has done to establish them as a really comfortable championship outfit with the budget they have and the squad they have, likewise with Coventry, I think Nathan Jones has done a hell of a job to really make Luton a really tough outfit in the championship. With Neil Warnock, I think he'll definitely set his team up to win, as always. It was a good win against Sheffield Wednesday as well. They were peppered a little bit in the first half, but with the quality I've seen recently, especially from the likes of Balassi, I'm really excited to see how this Middlesbrough squad survive, especially if they can keep all their lone players, which I think will be quite difficult. As a score prediction, I'm going to say Luton probably. Both these sides doing tremendously well with their runs of form, so it's difficult to back one side, but I'll edge Luton being at home. I'm going to say 2-1 Luton. FIFA 21 is predicting 2-0 Middlesbrough. Next up, we've got Millwall going up against Bristol City. Now, news coming on from Bristol City recently. Nigel Pearson has signed a 3-year contract at the club. Bristol City fans, let me know what you think of that in the comments down below. I think since Nigel Pearson came in, obviously he had an unbelievable start, didn't he? You know, every single away game Bristol City would play, it didn't matter who they were playing. They were getting tremendous wins and pretty comprehensive wins as well. But then it's just been their home form that's just been so disastrous, especially at the tail end of the season as well. They've still not been able to pick up a win in their last 8 home games. Millwall themselves have not been doing too well their runs of form as well, especially at home as well, for the fact that Millwall have conceded 7 goals in their last 2 home games is not great, and they've been struggling to find the back of the net with only 1 goal in their last 4 games. So this could be a 0-0 draw. FIFA 21 is predicting 1-0 Bristol City. I'll go the other way and predict 1-0 Millwall. I think they were quite unlucky not to get anything more against Watford last weekend. I back Millwall more to get a chance and to take it. Let's look at Norwich going up against Reading. I think likewise with Brentford and Watford, this game looked to be one of the more important games of the season, but unfortunately, it has lost a bit of its meaning. But I guess one thing that Norwich can use, just like with Brentford trying to establish third place, Norwich can use this game to try and establish being champions, and to do that, they need to get 3 points. The fact that Watford need to beat Brentford to try and keep themselves in the running to be champions, Norwich may not even have too much pressure on their hands, but I feel like they would want to try and get the job done. Reading, it'll be interesting to see how they play towards the end of the season. I can definitely tell that they have got their full backing of their manager. He has taken a lot of pride, and you have got to give Panovic credit for the fact he has taken a side who I think were bang average last year, if I was going to be honest with you, but now challenging and has just fallen short onto a top 6 place. I think now it's down to next season whether Panovic can keep these talented players like Olise and Ejaria and to try and really establish at least a top 6 place next year. This game, I think Norwich will wrap this up. I'm going to say 2-0 victory to Norwich. FIFA 21 is predicting 1-0 to Norwich. Now next up, we've got Preston going up against Barnsley. Now, Barnsley this game last year would have absolutely hated it. It was a 5-1 defeat that Preston managed to have against Barnsley last time, with resulting Daniel Stendel being sacked as well. The journey that Barnsley have been on since that has been absolutely inspiring and incredible. Almost defying the odds, really, for the fact they're in a top 6 place. For the first time, I think, is it 18 years they've not been in the top 6 place since? I mean, that's incredible. And you've got to really praise the work that Ishmael has done as well for this squad. With this game, I don't think Preston will be taking this game too seriously, although they have been doing quite well at the back. They've kept 3 clean sheets in a row. So I'm tempted to back Preston, actually, and throw a typical championship result to be unpredictable. but I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. I think both of these sides will have their moments, and I think they'll cancel each other out, and FIFA 21 is actually going to agree with me. Next up, we've got Rotherham going up against Blackburn. Now, this is a must-win game for Rotherham. I mean, unfortunate thing for Rotherham is they have had must-win games throughout the last 2 weeks, and they've blown every single opportunity, losing 5 games in a row. And right now, for Rotherham looking like the team most likely to get out of the bottom 3, they are now in the back foot, and have now got to try and breach a 4-point gap from Derby and only have 1 game in hand now. And what they have to do is that they have to win this game and hope that Derby do not win their game against Swansea to try and close that gap. Blackburn won't be an easy side to play up against though. They scored 5 goals last time against Huddersfield. I think they are in the mood to try and have a stronger end to the season. Rotherham being unlucky with scorelines. 19 out of their 26 defeats have come with only 1 goal within it. And even drawing some of those defeats would have made a huge difference to their position in the table. With this game, I think this is going to be deja vu. I think this is going to be a 2-1 away victory to Blackburn. FIFA 21 is predicting a 1-0 win to Rotherham. Next up, we've got Stoke going up against Queen's Park Rangers. Likewise with most of their games, I don't think it's a game with such meaning, to be honest with you. Both these sides are going to be pretty much established in around mid-table position. The reverse fixture last time was a very dull 0-0 draw, and it was one of those 0-0 draws I would want to forget, and I did forget very, very quickly. I think this game will see a little bit more life within it. I think Queen's Park Rangers will bounce back following their inconsistent run of form. If they had a defeat last time, I think they'll win this game. I'm going to say 2-1 Queen's Park Rangers. FIFA 21 is predicting 2-0 Queen's Park Rangers. So the penultimate game to go over, another important game, Swansea going up against Derby. This game I'm going to be keeping my eye on the most, because a win for Derby can potentially relegate all 3 of the teams currently in the bottom 3. It would automatically relegate Wycombe and Sheffield Wednesday, and it will immediately relegate Rotherham as well if they cannot pick up at least a point against Blackburn. So Derby got a big chance to be the club killer of this weekend. I think Derby will feel so nervous, especially for the fact that Sheffield Wednesday have already played their game at this time against Nottingham Forest. If my prediction comes through and it's 1-1, Derby would know a draw would at least relegate Wycombe and Sheffield Wednesday, and that's probably what they'll be planning to do if that result happens. But I think the early game is going to have a massive effect on this game. This game is so tough to predict. I can see it being 0-0, but I think it could just be 1 goal that does it. I'm going to say Swansea, 1-0 Swansea. Derby would hope that they can find some inspiration for when they beat Swansea last time to pick up their first home win, but I just don't see it. FIFA 21 is also going to agree with me. And the last game, Wycombe going up against Bournemouth. Now, Wycombe are not mathematically relegated yet, but if you look at their goal difference and what they have to overturn for Derby, I think they are down. Wycombe will have to win both of their games, and Derby will have to lose both of their games, and they're going to have to hope that Sheffield Wednesday and Rotherham do not overtake Derby either. So the odds are completely against Wycombe. Now, if they could go to this game with a never say die attitude, and they'll try and wrap up the game by outscoring Bournemouth. But if there's one team you don't want to try and outscore, it's Bournemouth. With the quality that they have, especially in Danjuma, Solanke, Stanislas, all positions are so dangerous for Bournemouth. And I think if you do try and play in their own game, they will punish you. And I think Wycombe will have a pretty harsh lesson in that. I think Wycombe will get relegated this weekend, because I think Bournemouth will beat them by 3-1, I think. And FIFA's predicting 1-0 to Bournemouth. So that is all of my score predictions for the Championship this weekend. If you want to have a chance to be in the Leicester Hall of Fame, make sure you comment your predictions in the comments down below. Before I end the video, on the left-hand side of the screen right here are my Premier League predictions. They also count towards the Leicester Hall of Fame as well, so make sure you predict those games in the comments down below as well. But that wraps it up for today's video. If you guys like what you see, please make sure you do give this video a like, tremendously helps. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, it will really help. And please share my channel as well, that is how I'm going to grow bigger. All of that would really make my day. But thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary for the end of this video, and as always, take care everyone.